effort of the armed forces of Nigeria over the past 14 years of engaging in counter-terrorism and counterinsurgency operations in the northeast region have degraded the insurgents to a large extent and brought about some significant restoration of peace and normalcy within the operating environment, especially in Borno State. Over the years, the various military operations, Operation Restore Order 123, Operation Buyona, Operation Zaman Lafia, Operation Lafia Dole, so the current designation Joint Task Force Northeast Operation-Hadin conducted the operating environment of Joint Task Force Northeast Operation-Hadin remains fluid, but largely under control, with occasional isolated attacks on troops and violent activities by elements of JANS and ISWAP terrorists. Our team of defense correspondents embarked on a tour to Northeast to acquaint with the current activities of Joint Task Force Northeast Operation-Hadin with a view to highlighting the achievement and to visit some communities and to meet with the locals. Operation-Hadin Theatre covers Borno, Yobe, part of Adamawa State. The theatre covers 47 local government areas of Borno, Yobe, and Adamawa State, where its formations and units are tactically deployed. The Nigerian Army, being the lead force in the theatre, has continued to collaborate and foster synergy with other components for participated operational end state. The continuous support provided by the naval and air components has contributed tremendously to the successes recorded so far in the theatre. Our first stop was at the theatre command, where we were briefed on activities of Joint Task Force Northeast Operation-Hadin and of course interactive session with the theatre commander.
Welcome you to the theatre. It is heartwarming having you all here in the theatre to come and see firsthand what we are doing in the theatre. I'm sure you must have heard that issues like there were several local governments under the Boko Haram control then. Currently, there is none. Currently, we had troop offensive operations in the Sambisa forest where we decimate a lot of the Boko Haram terrorists and rescue people. The majority of those surrenders are from Sambisa forest. Those women and children, you have the opportunity to interface with them in their Hajj camp. Most of them came from those places to surrender to home troops. Most of them laying down their arms. Crises have a spectrum. When we cut off of the crisis, it starts gradually, then it escalated, then this thing. So for the military, there's various ranges of spectrum of operations. They're both kinetic and non-kinetic. So the magic is that we have conducted effective operations, be it right from the time of Deep Punch 1, Deep Punch 2, Operation Toratake Bango, Operation Desert Sanity 1, Desert Sanity 2, Desert Sanity 3. These are operations that have lasted over the years.
In line with the theatre's operational strategy, several non-kinetic activities are being conducted in addition to the ongoing operations. These include respecting the basic rights of surrendered terrorists and their families, as well as receiving and providing them to create enabling environment and conditions for the Borno State government to support them with feeding, accommodation, clothing, and basic medical care. The theatre also facilitates an enabling environment for the rehabilitation, organizing Quranic recitation competition, quiz, and sports competition. Let me pause here to say that the essence of organizing the Quranic competition is to give the terrorists or the surrendering ones among them the opportunity to complete operations to safe areas. This has won our way into the hearts and minds of the terrorists and their families, as reflected in the reaction to our gesture. Community intervention programs and key leaders engagement. Primary among these is the continuous sensitization of citizens and locals on the dangers of improvised explosive devices and unexploded ordnances, particularly on the civil populace, necessitating the need for more roads to be constructed across the theater to reduce the possibility of improvised explosive devices.
We won't really appreciate much because I saw some standby patrol vehicles and all of that standing by, and I am aware that they are all waiting for distress call and all of that. So these are things worth commending.
After the rescue, where are they? Some of them have been, they've been handed over to a particular ministry in Borno State and also to their families, Recently, Lydia was rescued, I think last week or thereabout. She was rescued with our children, and we heard that she 5 months pregnant, so she was pregnant 5 months. So we want to know the whereabouts of Lydia now. What is going on with her? Is she in the hospital, the military hospital, or is she with the government now?
Relationship between illegal mining and banditry. I want to know if you have also this kind of case in the Northeast. And secondly, I want to know the position of Damaturu, the position of Maiduguri, Damaturu Federal Highway.
Lydia, they recently rescued Chibok girl. The girl was rescued by my own troops following her narrow escape from the Mandara Mountains. She was recovered and brought back to this headquarters. Where she is now, she's being treated in our own hospital. The children are also being treated. We learned she had malaria, and even the children. And her pregnancy, 5 months, is intact. So she is with us. We have done the best we can by rehabilitating her on our own, pending the formal handover to the state government for her further rehabilitation.
I want to bring this to your notice that we are the only country in the world that carries out the radicalization process during an insurgency. Nobody does that, nowhere in the world. So it's a model that we'll set up, and other countries, I dare say, have come to see how we'll be able to do it, and they are copying it as well.
And one of the lines of effort being adopted by the terrorists is the information line of effort. And somehow they've been able to use that line of effort to propagate falsehood. So we want to urge your team acknowledging the very important role of the media
that have been rescued. Just as the chief of staff has said, they are in different categories. Those ones that have been released earlier on, those ones that escaped on their own, and those ones that were rescued due to troops' offensive operation. So far, there have been 18 of them, Lydia being the last one. If you go to the internet, you will see the list of missing Chibok girls. And to ensure that the persons that we are presenting to the public or handing over to the Borno State government are the Chibok girls, we always state their names, the list, the number that's on the serial number, they are on that list. Now the procedure is that once they are rescued by own troops, because of the state they are in, you bring them to our own medical center so that we check them. Some of them, we find one or two things that if it's like Lydia now is having malaria, she's been treated for that. Then for some of the children, they are malnourished, and the doctors give them certain vitamins that they need to have as children. So that then from there, we now hand them officially to the Borno State Ministry of Women Affairs. That is when you see them, see the troops on TV handing them over.
Na fita ziyara a gidan yar uwata ne sai mun shiga jeji mun ga hanyar moto sai fita ziyara gidan yar uwata ne shine nace za mu tafi wani akwai wanda za su tafi jeji za su je zaba magariya sai nace ni ma zan bi su za mu je mu zaba magariya sai na bi su da na bi su kuma suna bayan mu kuma mun yi gaba sai mun ga hanyar moto mun bi kuma ya kawo mu gari kamar ya ne
kaman kin yi aure a can? Auren ki nawa?
Aure na uku.
Me ya faru da miji na farko?
Ya tafi yaki yayi barci ne.
Yayi ne? An kai shi auren kenan? Na biyun fa?
Shi ma haka ne.
Okay. So zo ne yaran kowane yawan shi daban-daban kenan? Okay. So da kika zo nan ya sojoji suka rike ki?
Na dawo bakin gate na tsaya. Sai sun kalle ni sun tafi sun je sun tambaye ni. Mene na ya kawo ne sai na ce ni yar cibok ne dama an kwashe mu yanzu ina son shiga cikin gari zan tafi gurin mama na ce sai sun bude min gate sun shigar da ni.
We have had an extensive and very elaborate brief on the efforts being done by Theatre Command in conjunction with the units here in Maiduguri. So it's worthy to note It's worthy of note that we are here on the instance of the Chief of Defense Staff and by extension, Defense Media Operations.
Our movement to communities and military formations begins with force to Chabol town. Chabol community is a small community with about 95% farmers who have been rendered homeless due to insurgency.
We have about 3,000 people's householders here. It is a community that we don't have any problem before happen of this insurgency. So we are welcoming you. We are thankful for the security agents that saving us in this area. Some NGOs are saving, assist us in our primary school, like Save the Children, build us our schools. Then our water resources, some Red Cross peoples come and assist us. But just our problem in this area, we are all farmers, so that the poverty are arousing our peoples. So food program not here.
Makalau yan hijira ne a area nan sun zo sun zauna sun samu lafiya kuma sun fauna kauyensu. Mudun na muna da lafiya kalau muna da
lokacin da aka yi boko haram bai shafe ku ba?
Ya shafe mu boko haram ai area nan ba wanda bai shafe shi ba ne.
Sai ya shafe ku?
Akwai mutanen da an zo an kashe su da an zo an karba abunan kudi ana kashewa ana dauka haka ne.
Nan rigima na boko haram ke akwai wanda na ke mutu ne a ciki?
Akwai wanda ya mutu akwai wanda aka dauka ba mu samu ba har yanzu.
There are some killed, some abducted.
How are they related to you? How close are they to you?
Me alakan su da ke da su.
Wanda aka dauka? Guda yar kaunata ce.
Okay.
Wanda ku aka kashe muna kasar Gabra wancan mutanen mu gaba daya da mun rasa mutum ya fi hadari ma.
Ya fi nawa?
Ya fi dari ma.
Okay.
A kwance gawa mun gudu mun bari wasu sun samu aure su.
Menene alakan ki da su wanda aka kashe?
Su wanda aka kashe din muna makautaka da su haka. Danga muna zaune da su.
Okay. She lost over 100 of her neighbors and they abducted some of her cousin sisters. Okay, ki ci gaba.
Kuma wanda an ka dauka aka tafi da ita mutum biyar namu ba su dawo ba har yanzu kuma ba mu samu ba.
Me alakin ki da su mutum biyar?
Mutum biyar guda ɗaya kanwata ce saura kuma jama'a ne namu na zaman tare.
Okay.
Mantawa ba an sa wuta muna gudu yawancin mu ni ba ni da zani ba da komai daga ni sai fam. Kana ya fadi muna gudu mun bar guri. Kayan mu duka gaba ɗaya an kone ko tabarma wannan ta kwanciya ba mu dauko ba. Kuma har yanzu tallafin mu kaɗan ne.
She still recall the time when she ran almost naked, only pants on her to save her life. Sai me kuma?
yanzu abin da muke so mai garin cabal wannan mun yi hijira mun zo mun zauna ya dauke mu hannuwa biyu ba mu ga walakanci ba amma dan Allah shi ma a taimaka mai ga jama'a shi abin da yake ba mutane yana alhamdulillah.
They are living here as an IDP. So they want government to support Megari so that he will continue to assist them.
We just spoke with Fatima Abdullahi, where she shared our ordeal, how she escaped from attack from Boko Haram, running out naked, like 2 hours inside the forest. She also said that 100 of her neighbors were killed by terrorists, and this is where the IDP camps, this is where military kept them. This is where the Borno State government and the Nigerian military kept them, to feed them food and everything. So, and I hope that one day they will go back to their ancestral home, and 95% of them are farmers, and they want the government to assist them so that they can go back to farming, and at the same time their children will also go back to school.
In fact, the assistance is coming from the NGO because water problem in this area. If not the NGO, now even the transformer have no light. They say it's spoiled. To replace it, up to now there's no replace. You can see water now from Shagal locals, all the surrounding. If you can see in the road, you see trucks pushing. They are coming to fetch water here.
My battalion is configured into four operating bases, and FOB Chabal is one of the FOBs. Other FOBs include that at Tungushe, Tuba, and Gajigana. They are all part of the battalion. Most of them are settlers. Some of them were living in the interiors, deep into the woods, and because of the insurgency, they had to move close to town where they can have relative security. So we do not really have an established IDP camp. Most of them are settlers, and part of our responsibility is to secure the entire Chabal settlement. Some of our routine activities in support of their security, we provide patrols for those of them getting firewood, water, markets. During market days, we secure the general area. And I can boldly say that in the past 2 years, we've not had any incidents in this settlement. And economic activities have returned, and I think they are doing pretty well.
We had a stop at the most respected area called the Military Cemetery. It will be recalled that the former Chief of Defense Staff, General Rabel, retired, approved the renovation of all the military cemetery to international standard. After we paid our respect to our fallen heroes, we move on a fast drive to Muna Garage. Muna Garage, a Borno State settlement that has experienced multiple attacks by suicide bombers. The leader of the settlement speaks on how Boko Haram terrorists infiltrate the community to get children for deadly missions. He recalled the explosion he witnessed on Wednesday, May 3rd, 2017 in the community. Also, on 2nd December 2017 in the community, there was an explosion where 2 teenage girls detonated their improvised explosive devices. Also, Boko Haram suicide bombers detonated the device at Gariki near Mona Park, and also suicide bombers on November 15, 2017 attacked a mosque during a Maghrib sunset prayer. 18 people, including 4 suicide bombers, died and the huge explosion that rocked the state.
So, I don't think in this Borno State, nowhere suffer more than Mona. The reason why I say that is that most of the suicide you may have it in Muna. So even some people they are asking why is the Muna? They don't know the place, but they hear the Muna always. So with the prayer and the support of military, so we now succeeded with everything.
You still haven't told?
People have suffered at that time. The reason why I say people have suffered, you may see, we are here in the motor park or in the place. like 10 to 12 o'clock. So they said they have even get the information of suicide bomber or they may bring attack. So the security will inform us that we have to leave the place immediately, not more than 15 to 30 minutes. So we can mobilize our people to leave the motor park or the place within shorter time. Even some people that are asking that what happened? When you say what happened, so you can't wait for what is happening now. Just to leave the place, military will tell you. So our people are doing their business. Somebody now before has 20 to 30 million to do his business now. Now he don't have even cover to do the business also. Secondly, we have up to now we have some IDPs here. They are suffering. They are not farming. They are not doing anything. They are just idle. So we need government to support them, even with this acquisitional center or vocational center or something like that, that they will train them and be dependent on themselves.
Then to Konduga, a town in Borno State that became popular in year 2014, suspected Boko Haram terrorists first attacked on February 11, killing about 39 persons, injured several others, even as they set ablaze over 1,000 homes, including the palace of the community district head. Konduga is about 35 kilometers from Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, and has been repeatedly attacked by the extremist Boko Haram sect. In their bid to expand their conquered territories and possibly attack Maiduguri, the Boko Haram sect in September 2014 attempted to invade the Borno capital through Konduga but met a terrible defeat when they lost over 200 of their members, including a top kingpin, then suspected to be group leader Abubakar Shekau. Monday night attack is about the fifth in the series of major attacks on the Konduga town by insurgents. We were received by the sector commander who later took us to interact with the indigents.
This road will extend you to Bama, up to Buka, to Goza. Now, if you look at the road, standing on the road, let's say you are going back to Lagos, you share the road into two equal parts. This place is dominated by the economists, the right side of the road, while here is the houses. But history, from history, you will know that they are settlers. The original owner of this place because the water they are drinking is from there.
Okay, number one challenge here, we don't want 40% of the population of this town doesn't have food butcher. We have a food insecurity here. So apart from that, we have shelter program and wash. Some of our latrines, 60% of our latrines are damaged.
Tabbas mun san abin da suka yi sun taka ruwan gani sanadiyan su ne ma muka samu muka kwabce muka yi hijira muka zo nan shin shiga kauye suka wasar da mutane muka samu muka kwabce muka yi hijira muka fito nan.
She said she thanked the Nigerian military for their extraordinary efforts in bringing peace to the area, and that's why they are still alive here.
Some surrendered Boko Haram terrorists from the town also had a chat with us.
Ba mu samu damar fita ba, to muna da ya kai shekara 10, to abun da ya kare muna bi baya gyaruwa sai bacewa yake. To sannan a cikin gari aka yi magana kan cewa duk wanda ya dawo ba za a yi magana ba, mu kuma muka samu damar sannan muka dawo nan din muka bar abun da muke mun gane a wancan din banza ne.
Da kuke a can me kuke a can lokacin da kuke?
Yaƙi ne muke yi.
Ka yaƙi a wurare kamar wuri nawa?
Wurare dai ba zan yi irga ba ga.
When he joined the Boko Haram, he fought in so many places that he cannot remember how many times he fought because of Boko Haram. So daga nan kuma sai ya faru.
To daga nan da aka muna yakin mu kuma yakin ya zafi ta kai mu shine muka gudu zuwa nan.
So when they tired with you, then they run away to this place.
Ni ina cikin gari. To a cikin gari ma bani da komai a hannu su ne suke tura min kuɗi. Ina kashewa ina duk abin da na ga dama.
Okay, when he go back to bush, he used to send him money for his upkeep while at bush. So kamar ta yake tura ma kuɗi?
Da so za ka bari.
Envelope. Okay, they used to put the money in the envelope and give somebody from the bush and go and deliver to him in the town.
So that was what made him join.
What house church?
Daddy, na yi karatun shekara biyu har yanzu an ce ka gyara karatunka. Na yi saukin Qur'ani. A nan na fara yaki.
Okay. So later on he joined them in the bush and he became fully Almajiri there. He read and then they introduced into their troop.
A nan ne sai suka nada ni shugaba.
So he started war and he became a commander.
Sun tara mutane a karkashina.
So he have his battalion.
An ba mu motoci da bandugogi
They
da
gave him
mutane haka.
vehicles, haylux, trucks and other very big weapons.
A nan muka fara yaki, muna yaki.
So they started war. Kama yana da kai yaki.
Da yawa.
He fought in so many places. Kaman ka da kuma wuri biyar haka.
Wuri biyar? A wuri biyar mai sauki ne yayi.
Okay.
Mana.
Okay.
Na je Damaturu.
He fought in
Damaturu.
Damaturu. He fought in Gonduga.
Tababalewa.
Bauchi.
Biu.
Biu.
Chibok. Dambuwa.
Da ka san lokacin da aka riya matan Chibok?
Mana.
Kana ciki? Okay, he's one of those who abducted Chibok girls. Okay, to amala wara abin da ya faru.
In a military convoys will left the community for Molai. Molai is situated along the closed-down Maiduguri, Dambuwa, Chibok, Biu Road and about 10-kilometer drive to Maiduguri city. We visited the torched Molai community, observing the entire people of Molai, where insurgents in 9th of May 2019 were said to have descended on the community and setting all the structures ablaze. The attack came barely a week after 3 suicide bombers wreaked havoc at a missionary hospital in Molak village, leaving scores injured, while the suicide bombers died at the spot. But now, peace and normalcy have returned to the community, citing military control block entrance to the community.
My village head at Delwa. Just Boko Haram a victim in my village. I'm coming in here, Maiduguri, and sitting. Now the force soldier, he come to help about the sitting and my village. But now we're free to guiding about the people. But here I'm doing anything, everything, even work by this thing, even garden. Now I will do it. Anything I will do it now. No any shaking, no any wahala, no any fear. Now I will do it, everything.
The situation that degenerated beyond the capacity of the Nigeria police force necessitated the deployment of the armed forces of Nigeria troops to restore peace and order in this region, and over the years, the various military operations conducted has provided a return of National Youth Service Corps Orientation Scheme to Maiduguri after over 12 years of suspension due to insurgent activities in Borno State. Not only that, the West Africa Examination Council (WAEC), which for some time could not hold in areas such as Bangi and Goza general areas, are due to commence as a result of the return of relative peace in the areas. The Joint Task Force Northeast Operation-Hadin under the able leadership of Major General Wa'id Shaibu is committed to the attainment of its mandate to totally defeat the terrorists and restore law and order to the Northeast region, as well as creating an enabling environment for economic activities to thrive.
Are you motivated? Motivated, sir. Are you motivated? Motivated, sir.
The Defense Media Operations Team from Abuja, having observed the activities of Joint Task Force Northeast Operation-Hadin, which has made such modest achievements in the past years, like the restoration of relative peace and security, including socio-economic activities across the theater. I, Olayemi Eson, we end this documentary with the War We End poem by Mahmoud Darwish. The war will end. The leaders will shake hands. The old woman will keep waiting for her mother's son. The girl will wait for a beloved husband. And those children will wait for their heroic father. I don't know who sold our homeland, but I know who paid the price.